Hello, slots enthusiasts. Today we're going to be diving into riverboat casinos using as an example my recent trip to Ameristar, St. Charles in Missouri. But we have a few donations to start. Uh, Chuck has generously donated $100.01. He says sorry he can't hang today. And that's a very good point. It is a holiday weekend. And as you very well know, so a lot of people I expect will be catching this later and low attendance during the live chat. But that's fine. I have a bunch of stuff prepared for you. And if there's a few less questions, that will be okay. So thank you, Chuck, for your donation. He says he'll definitely catch the replay. And thank you. Also, we have a donation from Magpie. Magpie is also going to be missing the live show, and they're sorry about that, but wishes everybody, and cheers everyone. Magpie says. So thank you both for your donations. What I want to talk about, get started with today is to let you, yes, there are kitties behind me, and the one on the couch is Rudy. The one on the floor is Emmett. Rudy is the older one, and he's teasing the younger one on the floor, Emmett. And hopefully we don't have a battle ensue. As that sometimes happens. You can't quite see it, but there's like cat toys spread all over the place. All right. And Rudy and Emmett are my co-hosts, and my associate producer is my third cat that rarely gets on the camera, Kiri. Okay. So earlier this month, I successfully launched my first online course, 30 Days to Play Slots Smarter and Win. You can take it at a leisurely pace of one lesson per day or a lot faster. Yes, it can be completed in a day, if a rather long day, but I recommend taking more time than that, as you may want to consider its assignments, tasks, and concepts. Thanks to those who have already signed up to my 30 Days course, a beta version discounted by over 50% from its future regular price for the upcoming non-beta version arriving soon, along with the course. And I should just show you this. I'll share my screen with you, and there we are. So this is courses.professorslots.com. For those of you listening on the podcast later, it's courses.professorslots.com, which is where all my courses will be. Right now I have the one, and 30 Days to Play Slots Smarter and Win. I don't know if you can see my mouse, those of you that are watching the video. So this is the sign-up page for this particular course that I have, the only one I have right now. And you can see the price. It's right there. Hopefully you can see my mouse. And you will learn about winning methodologies. I have seven winning slot strategies. We'll talk about those today with regards to riverboat casinos. So I'll go through them one by one, but the course does as well. And I'll talk about observation, how important observation is in your casino, because it's a very engaging, active environment. And then we want to talk in the course, I talk a little bit about overcoming manipulation of the casino. Being aware what they're doing will help you understand why you're responding in a certain way. Fair is fair, right? So we should understand. So if you there's a section here on course curriculum. It says in progress because I'm also signed up to it. I'm also a member. I've also joined just so I can check to see how everything looks from your side. And this introduction section has a free preview. You can get an idea of the main course. The main goal of the course is a video there, and everybody has access to that. But the rest of it is if you pay for the course, and which is currently 50% off. So I'm going to close that, and you can open each one of these. Today's Riverboat Casino Review will go over strategy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and with regards to riverboat casinos. And so each one of those strategies, when I talk about them in the course, will have some tasks for you to help you understand it a little better, some resources, so you can kind of dig into it if it turns out to be the most valuable of the strategies at your casino. And Right. And so I do that for each of the different strategies. And this is kind of a long section. It goes from day 17 to day 25, all 9 strategies, not to mention the introduction. So after that, we've got some first steps to improvement, more free stuff, etc. So that's this is me, obviously, and there's a little bit more about me and kind of the channel that I have. And you can pay with a credit card or PayPal. When I increase the price, I have to kind of decide if that's going to be the 2 options. But a lot of people seem to need both. So of all the people who have signed up, so I'll probably keep that. You get some free stuff with the course, which includes a 232-page PDF of my book. I also have it available on Amazon. It's a soft cover and hardcover version, as well as audiobook. Gambling templates for 2021 as far as record keeping, and while this is a beta version to be improved with feedback from the current participants, and feel free to, if you join, don't join and be someone who gives that feedback to make the course better. You will get access to the non-beta version later, which is $100 savings just by signing up now. You get lifetime access. One question I get is whose lifetime? Your lifetime, my lifetime, the business's lifetime. And hopefully I will continue to succeed and be able to keep everything up and running. All this costs money, and if I run out of it, well, I was laid off 10 months ago, middle of last year, and this is one way for me to try to recover from that, and I hope to be able to, because I'd like to continue to provide this to you. Okay, so that's what I wanted to show you there, and I did mention the link to signing up is courses.professorslots.com. Okay, so I recently visited Ameristar. Did I get everybody? Good. I recently visited Ameristar St. Charles. It's a riverboat casino on the eastern border of Missouri. So let's take a quick look to where that's at. As you may know, I write an article on every state. I do one a week. Takes me about 13 months to get through all of them, including the territories. You'd be surprised how busy casinos are in some of the territories. Not Guam, but like Mariana Islands, Puerto Rico, when they're not all destroyed by those darn hurricanes. But I also did a recent update to Missouri. So this is my Missouri article. You can find it by going to professorslots.com/MO. Pretty easy to remember. So I do all the usual things. I introduce it. I make a video of it, which you can find on YouTube as well. They're not very popular because not 1 out of 56, 57 of the people who come to YouTube would be interested in a video about a particular state. So, but I put them up as a reference, and I also embed it into the article. Okay, moving on, some legal statutes, whether you can own it privately. This is all the typical sort of stuff, but I also have, they have casinos in Missouri. They have 13 riverboat casinos. And the one that I went to is here, number 2 on the list. One thing I'll mention is further down, it's over here. Here's a map, so you can sort of see it here next to St. Louis. There's also payouts for Missouri, and right now Ameristar St. Charles comes in at 2nd place after Hollywood, St. Louis at 90.7% payout return. Ameristar St. Charles is 90.6%. So I not really getting into that aspects of things, but it was a fine candidate for me to go to, as in my studies before my trip last weekend on Sunday, where I made a day trip from in this general area of Ohio to this general area of Missouri. About a 6-hour drive. Which is fine, easier than flying. Takes about the same amount of time flying. One last thing is there is a minimum theoretical payout limit of 80% by state law for slot machines in Missouri. Okay, so let's click on, where are we at? Here. Ameristar. So one of the things I talk about in the course is look at the website. You have a We have a super sticker. You can't see it, but it's a trophy winning dog with a blue hat. Animated. Wonderful. Thank you, Devin. Thank you so much for the donation. I appreciate it. So this is, did Ash share that? Maybe I didn't. Missouri, it's multiple screens going on here. So this is my Missouri slots article. Just wrote it, and down here is a map. So you can sort of see where it is right over here on this side, eastern side. And that's what I wanted to show you. But we went to number 2 here, Ameristar, the one in St. Charles, not the one in Kansas City. And this is their website. As I said, in the course, I recommend one of the tasks that you have on one of the days would be to go to the website of your favorite casinos, the ones that you attend, because sometimes they have some good stuff. Unfortunately, sometimes they're like this, which is, it's great to see what the current facial covering requirement is, but the rest of this is just advertisements. They talk about having 200 games to choose from. They provide a map, and that's it on their main page. I kind of scrolled through some of the others. They have some offers. Most of them are advertisements. There's maybe 2 of these, which might be kind of like an event coming up, maybe one of them. They have a slots and video poker section, and there's not really much here. But it's important to know if they do have something. Sometimes, like with WinStar, let's see, sometimes with WinStar, you might find a map, and also you're in the casino. They might have a map that's also on an app, and you can look for particular games you might be interested in, and that might even give you a GPS sort of follow this path. Ameristar's not there yet, and that's part of what's going on with Riverboat casinos too, and we'll talk about that. So moving back to where we're at, and I think, okay, I see lots of comments in the live chat about my cats. My co-host and associate producer. Okay, so I recently visited Ameristar St. Charles, and I want to review this casino as a Riverboat casino, but also as St. Charles Riverboat, Ameristar St. Charles. So just to give you a little bit of background, Missouri is one of 6 U.S. states to legalize riverboat casinos. This might be the only time I ever talk about riverboat casinos because it only impacts people in those 6 states. Iowa led the way in 1989, followed by Illinois and Louisiana in 1991. Then Mississippi, Indiana, and Missouri in 1993. Missouri's riverboat gaming regulations for these casinos have evolved over time. They first had these gaming regulations and then since dropped them, which is they eliminated cruising, so they don't have to actually lift the what's the word for that? When you go on board, they have to undock. They may not have to move, but they have to undock, and so they call that cruising. And they also removed closing boarding for 2-hour long gaming sessions, and then they also removed a $500 loss limit on each gaming session for you. And a riverboat casino is usually a barge floating over a few inches of muddy water, although a few have the look of a paddle wheel boat, old-fashioned steamer, and Ameristar St. Charles does not have the appearance of being a boat. I think that we can see on the let me go back to that previous image. So this is what it kind of looks like if you drive up to it. And the casino is over here on the right, and the hotel and parking structure is on the left. And this is sort of the gateway between the two. And if you were to look at a casino map, which I think they have here, you'll see that they're I'm going to try doing this, see what happens. Right. So if you zoom in here on the map that they provide, you'll see they're right next to the Missouri River. But if you zoom in even more, sometimes they give you like an outline of the structure. Can you see that? They can give you an outline of the structure. And the Riverboat Casino is here, and there's a tributary, or whatever you want to call it, which it rests upon, and that's enough for it to be on water. And then the parking structure is here, and the hotel is over here. Okay, so let's get out of that. Okay. So in this case, it doesn't seem like it's a boat. Most visitors consider it next to the Missouri River rather than on the river. Patrons walk into the casino, as I showed you through that entrance, with no indication of having boarded a boat. When visiting, there's no movement, there's no rocking. However, there is a sense of being on a boat based on, observational skills are important, as I talk about in the course. The gaming floor, the size and shape of the casino floor indicates, it's long and narrow. And that's a boat. It's a barge. So the gaming floor is long and narrow, and it's shaped like a boat. Furthermore, local slots enthusiasts visiting for years, maybe not, someone who hasn't, will notice that the casino never seems to expand in size like most land-based casinos. Put it another way, the boat never seems to get bigger. And you can understand, once you understand it is a boat, and then you understand why that doesn't happen. There's no there's no annex where they have a parlor open to the outside for smokers, that sort of thing. It would have to be on the boat, and it's that all that space is used. So some expansion is possible, though, such as Ameristar St. Charles. They've added a second floor with slot machines, half of which is sometimes converted into table game areas for large poker tournaments. But many riverboat casino properties are also partially on land. The gaming floor must be a barge over water, but its 20-something floor hotel is on shore, along with parking structures. And I may have that to show you if I look carefully for it. I think, yeah, I will dig this out. What I could use as an assistant during these presentations. So where are we at here? Images. Yeah. Okay, let's do that. And apologize for this isn't helping the people on the podcasting, but here's a picture that I went to last weekend. I went there and have some photos from that time. So this is basically driving up to it. And I showed you one from the website, which I can't use because they own it and they don't have a license. But this is what I did from off the property on the other side of highway, on the other side of a bridge. And you can see they've got like a 20-story hotel. And if you can see it right in front of it, it's kind of low to the ground. That's a parking structure. So this actually over in the far right is the casino itself. Okay, so now you've got a basically lay of the land, or lay of the river, I guess, of what this riverboat casino looks like. So let's get into things about how to win, etc. So I should also mention that they don't, like the riverboat casinos, a typical thing is, if the casino floor is valuable, right? It's a revenue generating floor space. So they don't put dining options on the casino floor. They put it just off of it, which makes it just off the boat. and that close enough to be convenient, but not so far away that they don't get business. So it's important to know where those are, because there's traffic to and from, and we'll talk about one of the strategies that matters, what is the traffic flow, where are people going, and then the machines that are along that route people take can be set up to be winners. And we'll get into that. So let's take a step back and talk about central computer servers. Ameristar St. Charles does not have a central computer server to remotely control slot machines. Why? Because it's a boat, and boats have limited space available for infrastructure needs, like having a central server, because central servers must be hardwired to each slot machine, which can be hundreds or thousands of cables. Land-based casinos have sufficient space under floors and within walls and ceilings to house such large bundles of cables. Riverboat casinos don't have room for these bundles. Remember, the floor isn't exactly a floor. Under the floor isn't more floor, but rather a hull with river water on the other side. Yes, slot machines have player's card and other interfaces that communicate information back and forth as needed, but the information transfer load is minimal and doesn't require the dedicated and secure hardline connection needed for fast and constant updating of the odds of winning on gaming devices. So, Riverboat casinos would dearly love to have a central computer server. All the casinos want them, but not all of them can get them. And I'm hoping the chat's going okay. We'll take a break in just a moment. I'll get caught up with what's going on there. So casinos dearly love to have central computer servers. They do better on their finances. They're with them. They're able to reduce their slot mechanic workforce, which is basically an army of individuals who most casinos, they just clean the fans and do maintenance and maybe install a slot machine, remove a slot machine. But at Riverboat casinos, they have to go around as often as possible. Once a day. 2,000 slot machines once a day. How many people do you need to do that in order to be able to get through all of them? So the casino can meet its financial performance metrics. They can't get through it in a day. Best I can tell, it takes about 7 to 10 days to get through all of them, particularly when it's 8,000 slot machines. But Riverboat casinos are limited, and it looks like there's about 2,000 there. But there's a lot of people opening machines up, which is not when people can play, and changing the odds as needed. And so that's something that saves money for the casino if they can reduce that payroll and compensation, yet gain the ability to closely monitor their daily performance metrics by changing the odds of winning as needed. Riverboats have none of that. So as a result, there are consequences for slots enthusiasts trying to use my winning slot strategies at these Riverboat casinos which don't have a central computer server. In a moment, I'll go over which of my strategies do and don't work at Riverboat casinos, as well as what happened when using them at Ameristar St. Charles when I was there last weekend. How are we doing on the live chat? Intro. Okay, good. What do I think about Zia Park Black Gold Casino in Hobbs, New Mexico? Well, let's go to Professor Slots and type in /New Mexico. I don't have a review on it. I hate to be practical, but there's like 1,000 casinos in the United States. And if I went to 2 a week, it'd take me 10 years to get to all of them. So what I have, understanding that a while ago, I think it's been about just over a year and a half, I started Facebook groups. And these are not ideal because it's Facebook. But if you have a Facebook profile, you can go to professorslots.com/FBNM. All right. It's a 2-letter postal designation right on the end there. And if you do that, you'll come across, and I won't show you here because it's private, but you'll come across my Facebook group, and you have to join, and I don't let robots in and that sort of thing. So other businesses, etc. There's rules, and you agree to the community rules, and then you can talk to other people who do go to that casino. New Mexico isn't my largest group by far, but you can still talk to people who, might be there right now. And that's what I do. For every state, I provide a Facebook group where you can ask locals, hey, have you tried the 5-spin method? Does it work at that casino? Okay, so this is the article for New Mexico, and you asked about Zia Park. And I won't stop here. Zia Park Place and Black Gold Casino in Hobbs, 317 miles southeast of Share, John, Share. So you can find it here. It's a commercial casino. It's a pari-mutuel wagering racino. So it has racing and it has slot machines also. And it's commercial and it's located near the border of Texas. And where can I spot it here? New Mexico. Zia Park, Hobbs, right here, down in the southeast corner. I don't have a review for it, but you can, like I said, you can go to the, and I think I have a picture of it here. Yeah, you can go to the New Mexico Slot Machine Casino Gamblers Facebook group, and there's a link here in this article about it where you can go there. And I'm not going to show you because it is private, and I don't want it to show it publicly. Okay, other questions? Yes, thank you, Paula, for monitoring today in the live chat. I want to present some information, and she keeps an eye on things for me. Steve's here from Green Bay, Wisconsin. And again, if you're just joining, I understand it's a holiday weekend. I understand that people are with family. Don't worry about it. This is going to be available on YouTube later. You're probably watching it later. That's all okay. And please be with your family. And it's nice to see 34 people here and 17 likes. And I do appreciate all the donations. But holidays are like this. But on the other hand, people expect me to do a live stream, and I got plenty of stuff to tell you about. Right. So let's see. I was asked the question about yes. So questions. Yeah, if you are here and also with family, I understand. I appreciate you being here. So let's see. Devin says, I decided to use my comp for a suite at Vegas trip for Memorial Day, Monday to Wednesday next week instead of local. 5-spin did me good at New York, last trip. That's wonderful. And I've gotten similar reports, and I will add yours to the list that I've been maintaining. Let's see, I think I have, my apologies again for having to take the time to look this stuff up. It's not always at my fingertips. There are a couple other casinos in Las Vegas where people have reported that the 5-spin method works, and I will briefly list them off here. And take this with a grain of salt. It's these are not trained individuals. This is people who have listened to a live stream or one of my videos, perhaps even studied it, perhaps even took the course, and they're just kind of letting me know. So in Las Vegas, Paris, Wynn, Encore, Bellagio, and now New York, you say, are places I've gotten reports that the 5-spin method works. I've also gotten reports that off-strip, this is not a complete list. I actually have somebody working on that, a complete list, but it's a lot of casinos. So off-strip, someone reported that the Orleans was a place the 5-spin worked, but downtown, all I have are 2 casinos people mentioned where it didn't work, which is El Cortez and the D. So people came back and said, no, that's not places where the 5-spin method works. So I think we're getting to, let's see. Okay. Sorry if there's a lot of buffering. I don't know that it's true. I don't know if that's on my end or on your end. It's possible to say where the weakest link is between you and I, Steve. Um, right. So Ken says going to Meadows in Pittsburgh today. Any info if 5 spins work? Join my Pennsylvania slots enthusiast group and ask. And I don't have an answer for those casinos. I am now fully vaccinated, and I've been going to casinos this weekend. Last weekend was, I'm telling you after I'm there, so I don't get like a crowd or anything like that. Otherwise, it's hard for me to do the review when I can't see past people around me. Right. So last weekend I went to Ameristar, St. Charles in Missouri. Mother's Day I went to Soaring Eagle in Michigan, and I'm not sure if I'll go someplace tomorrow. It looks like about every 2 weeks now, and sometimes they're quite a ways here. Thank you, Juanita, for letting us know. Steve, I think you had mentioned that before. Steve's like, it's buffering, and he's like, but he's on the road, so maybe that's it. Switching from cell tower to cell tower. Okay, thanks for sharing all that. And okay, so let's get back to where I was at. So again, I was at Ameristar St. Charles, a Riverboat casino in eastern Missouri, which I visited last weekend. There's actually somebody that is here for the live chat. I don't want to call them out, but I've been working with them for like a year, off and on questions that they had. That's questions that they had. There's very interesting things being said in the live chat, but I'm trying to be less distracted these days, and I'll come back to that. So I went there with someone I've been working with, and they've had tried this last year, holidays and other things. So I have some information to share that was partly from the trip that I took, but partly from the explanation I got from the local who was there. And I don't want to call out their name. So first, let's go over strategies that don't work at Riverboat casinos because they don't have central computer servers. Now, there are also other casinos that don't have central servers. In Oklahoma, they're called casinos. It's a convenience store with 5 slot machines. It's just not financially worthwhile for the business to have a central server. I don't know what the minimum would be if you're in New Zealand. Sometimes there's 20 slot machines, and I think it's right around 25 slot machines where it becomes like financially viable. But it's really a choice of the business on whether to get one outside of Riverboat casinos, which can't because they don't have the infrastructure. And thank you to Nahal for a $10 donation. They say, "Hey John, great to catch you live. I must say you have definitely changed my understanding of slots incredibly, like no other. Thanks for what you do." Well, you're very welcome. I'm glad that you found some use out of this. My main goal is to help people. Sure, I was laid off 10 months ago and as an aerospace engineer, and I'd like to keep my home by doing this. So it's helping to beginning to pay the bills, which is great because living off of savings only lasts so long. So I want to help people, and it's just as a side. Your donations are keeping me going, and people buy the course, which I try to keep as cheap as possible. It's $97 now, and it's going to go up by $100 probably the end of June. Looks like I'll be on schedule roughly to finish the update from beta version, and then it'll go to its long-term price of $197. But as much as I like helping people, I try to stick with that. Yet there are and kind of leave the financing kind of like alone. I have to do more marketing, and you might see some of that just so people know that I have an online course. If they don't know, how can they buy it? So helping is priority to me, and I do enough to maintain enough income to be able to survive. Someday maybe better. That would be awesome. I'd like to try that someday. Okay, so my winning slot strategies that don't work at Riverboat casinos, in particular Ameristar St. Charles in eastern Missouri. My winning slot strategies 4 and 5, the morning after special events or holidays, depend upon having a central computer server connected to every slot machine in the casino. Without one, neither of these morning after strategies can work. This lack of availability was confirmed time and again over the last year by fans trying both strategies, 4 and 5, the one after promotions, morning after promotions, morning after holidays, trying them for time and again over the last year at their local Riverboat casinos, including this one by fan, host, whatever you want. I don't want to say host because it's not a casino employee that was there at that Riverboat casino. So when I visit for the day, if it's a holiday and I stay overnight, then I can check those strategies the next morning, which I have done sometimes. But it wasn't a holiday 2 weekends ago. And so I rely on my fan, who is a local, who's thoroughly looked at all of these strategies at that casino for this information. And I can believe it. It confirms what I would think, that it requires a central server for the casino business practice to be in place that we're trying to take advantage of. Now, there's also strategies 7 and 8. 7 is coming back 1 week later after a jackpot. 8 is listening for the sound change in the casino environment, not because a bunch of people just walked in, but suddenly everybody's winning. And so you can listen for that and only play then. And that's a really good strategy, but not at Riverboat casinos, because that requires a central server. So, abruptly busy. So fans have also confirmed this, that at Riverboat casinos. But it's worth mentioning that as a caveat, it's worth mentioning that a prominently located slot machine could be manually set up to have better odds of winning. You don't need a central server for a slot mechanic to come over, open it up when they don't have central servers, and change it, not remotely. So while strategy 7 a week later doesn't apply, it can be every 24 hours a day for the last 7 days. It could be set to win, and including 1 week later. So that's my caveat. If it's set to win, it's set to win. And that's one thing that's nice about casinos. There used to be a lot more of them. Nice about, and this is something they did before. It was all casinos once upon a time. This is the only way. They just set it to win, and then they'd have a budget. So we have to assume that it will last as long as the casino's marketing budget will last, and that's limited. And I've successfully used that. I talk about it in my book. Don't want to. Sally has arrived, and she's using all the if you're a member of the YouTube group, you get access to special emoticons, and I think she just used all of them. Right. So that's the strategies that don't work. The strategies that do work are 1, 2, 3, 6, and 9. Because these don't require a central computer server. Now, these 5 winning strategies may work if the casinos use the associated business practices these strategies depend on. If they don't, then it don't work. But they could work at a Riverboat casino because they don't require a central computer server. Sorry, I don't mean to throw logic at you. So, strategy 1, my 5 spin method. And I apologize if I'm not going over exactly what each strategy is. I'm trying to name them. I'm trying to give you the familiar terms, the number. All this is in the book. All this is on YouTube, other YouTube videos. And half the time people are like, what's the 5 spin method? And you can look it up. I will let you do that. The video description right now after the show, I think what I'll do is put a link in to the playlist with all my winning strategies, and they'll play one by one on YouTube. And some of those are going to get updated, but and have been updated. But I'll make sure you have access to that in a moment. Okay. So Sally, I am so glad that you are able to chat. I know that you had changed your email, your access, your YouTube account, but it's great to see you chatting. I'll get to you in a minute. Let me get to the point where it's good to take a break. So strategy 1 is my 5-spin method, which takes advantage of a purchased feature some casinos have on all their slot machines. If the casino purchased it from slot manufacturers, then they have it. If they haven't purchased it, then they don't have it. If they purchased it, it's on all machines. If they haven't purchased it, it's on none of the machines. If it's on all the machines, you sometimes won't win within the first 5 bets because the odds are low, but on average you win. And or I shouldn't say on average, you can find casinos where in the first 5 bets, you win 70, 80, 90% of the time. And that's what I call casinos. Anything over 50% says they have it. But we'll get into that. I've gotten into that, and I have something more to add about this specific casino. But these Riverboat casinos without central computer servers, they can have strategy 1. And we saw that when I was there. Okay, strategy 2. Strategy 2 is progressive slot machines, progressive slot machines, they have a network size, and sometimes it's a standalone machine with a progressive jackpot. Sometimes it's a few machines, or maybe with a common sort of display above a row or a carousel of slot machines, all with the same game theme and the same progressive jackpot at the same time, at all with the same number. Also, I call them progressive slot machines. They used to be labeled that. The top jackpot used to be labeled progressive. But now we're talking about video slot machines that have majors, minors, grand, minis, these jackpots that change. And those are also progressive slot machines, but a lot of those are standalone, yet they're still progressive. So when I talk about strategy 2 in my video on progressive slot machines, there's a strategies for getting some of those, and that's where you will find that. But this is network machines or standalone machines which don't require a central computer server. So the smaller the progressive jackpot, the smaller the network. And the network of machines on that progressive jackpot, all with a common progressive jackpot, they're typically set up to be side by side. A row, a carousel. They're not distributed throughout the casino. There might be progressives throughout the casino, but the ones that are networked together are next to each other. So that means the casino doesn't have to dig a hole in the hull and sink the boat. This means that they can just connect them because they're side by side. So it doesn't require a central server. Strategy 3. Strategy 3 is something that a lot of slots players do, which is they want to earn complimentary rewards. This is free play, this is earning points, this is getting trips, this is free dinners, all these things. And just getting those rewards is a strategy for those people who think that's the most important thing. A lot of people think, everybody wants to make money. That's not true. A lot of people want to have fun. More people than anything else. The biggest goal for most number of people, the goal for the most number of slots enthusiasts, is to have fun. After that, earning complimentary gifts of all different types, even going up in tiers, that's second. And third is making money. I've surveyed you, and that's what I came up with. Now, I'm one of the ones that's after fourth and beyond, which is, I wonder how all this works. That's my goal. Now, you can have more than one gambling goal. It's important to figure out what that is, and it could be more than one. Like, I make money too. I don't play high limit anymore, partly from having been laid off, but partly because most of you don't play high limit yourselves, and I should really immerse myself in low limits. So how do you survive in a casino on minimum bankroll? What is the minimum bankroll? Walking in with $2,500 to go to the high limit room. I can talk about that if you want to do that, but a lot more people, in order to have a business, you need to be able to tell them, hey, this is how you survive with $100. Okay. More on that later. More on that in others' videos. So yes, Ameristar Casino is part of Boyd Gaming, and Boyd Gaming has a Players Club program. So earning complimentary gifts, rewards, works at Ameristar St. Charles. Okay, next one, Strategy 6. Now, Strategy 6 is my 5-spin method, just to remind you. It's my 5-spin method combined with several other micro strategies, not worthy of having their own number. So they're smaller, and also ones that's even smaller than that, which I call a best practice, a good practice, or two. So there's the 5-spin method, and then I've added on like a bunch of combined things. And each one of my strategies, I'm talking about them individually, but as I think it was Devin, who was it that said? I forget. I don't see it in the chat. Right. So, right. Someone was saying they combine 1 and 4, which has to do with the morning after promotional events. So you can combine these, but I don't talk about it here. Except Strategy 6 is an example of several things that can be combined. If you're going to combine strategies, it's easy. But in order to do it, you first have to learn one strategy. Then you have to learn the other strategy all by itself, each by themselves. And then it'll be natural to see how well they fit together. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes it's awesome. Sometimes it's kind of like the little. And so Strategy 6 is a bunch of things that combine together at some casinos. Now, will Strategy 6 work at a casino without a central server? Yeah, sort of. The 5-spin method could work. They could have that installed on their machines. And these other micro strategies, mini strategies, they could have some of those too. And so it's a question of, how good would Strategy 6 work? But Strategy 1 works. If Strategy 1 works, Strategy 6 works. It may add these add-ons. How effective will these add-ons be? Will be a matter of study. And I'll see if I can find time and opportunity for that. But mostly this video is my Riverboat Casino video, at least the live stream version of it. So last one, and then I'll come back to seeing how the questions in the live chat. Strategy 9. Strategy 9 is one of my latest winning strategies. It was kind of implied for the longest time, but then I realized I really needed to number it and name it because it wasn't a micro strategy. It wasn't a mini strategy. It was a strategy. So I've started putting this together. I've talked about it in a live stream recently. It needs its own video. I'm working on all of that. But this is I tentatively, if you have a better idea of what to call it, that would be great. I'm making a real estate joke by using the name. So Strategy 9, location, 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 right? The 3 top things realtors say are important about home buying: location, location, location. So it doesn't require a central server to work at casinos that have set themselves up to take advantage of it. And most, if not all, casinos have done so. Ameristar St. Charles certainly has it. So let me talk about Ameristar St. Charles specifically, rather than just Riverboat casinos in general. So while I was at Ameristar St. Charles last weekend, being shown around by a local fan that knows that Riverboat Casino well, I learned quite a few things, which you will find useful to visit if you visit that casino yourself over time. Uh, those good and not so good things are, in a word, their high limit slots area was underwhelming. Here's why. No one was using it at a time when the rest of the casino was busy. That's not a good sign. There are no new machines, no tall machines, none that can be seen from a distance. There's no video slot machines with a big, that was just underwhelming. And that's the word for it. Also, while I was there, I walked around with my fan, and we identified 6 areas with slot machines that are in favorable locations. Strategy 9, location, location, location. We found 6 areas. Now, I asked them to not tell me where the winning machines were beforehand, because they had some, they'd done work before my arrival for over the last year. So, but afterwards, I said, okay, how would I do? And they confirmed that several of them were known to be winners. The problem was a lot of people knew that people get on them first thing when they come in before the crowds get there and stay on it the whole time, and you just can't get on those machines. But I found a few others that were just not selected that way. So, for instance, there was no favorable areas found on the second floor. And so if you go there, one of the ones that I found that we found to be winners was that which didn't have a lot of attention. I don't know how new it was, how if they put something there recently, why it's not getting the attention, but we found it to be winners. As you walk into the main entrance to the casino floor onto the boat, immediately on your right, the entrance is like this. You walk down a long hallway next to the boat, and then towards the end of the boat, you turn and you come into the main entrance. So there's also a minor entrance that's not currently closed into the high limit area. That's, like I said, closed. But in the main entrance, you just come in and you're not even, you're across the line onto the boat, and there's like a corridor open area. And then on the right are 3 machines. Now there's 3 machines on the other side as well, but the 3 machines on the right are actually seen as people walk up the hallway. The hallway ends right here. So you go in. I should do a sketch. Sorry. So you come in, and on the right, you've been looking at them for a while as you walk into the casino. And so we sat down at those 3 slot machines and we bet 10 bets on first one, second one, third one. Actually, I think it was like either end, because I like to start with those, and then played the center one. The center one was far better. The casino had selected the center machine to be the one that had the best odds of winning, because we went to 20 bets and we had, 3 bonus rounds? We won. And then in addition, we had 2 or 3 bonus rounds. And this is all in 20 bets. We didn't make money, but it close to break even. And that was wonderful. What happens if you make 100 bets on that machine? How is that going to go? So, right there. That's the sort of thing that you look for. There's 5 other areas in the casino. I had a live stream from maybe a year ago where I talked about you walk into a casino and there's 3 machines that are winners. Your job is to find them. And this is base strategy 9 is how you go about doing that. So, right. Now, the 5-spin method works at Ameristar St. Charles. However, results were suboptimal, as well as short of breaking even. Our return, the amount we won when choosing only end of row slot machines to improve returns, was better than most other performances at this casino, but it was still less than breaking even. My best recommendation for Ameristar St. Charles Riverboat Casino is to play highly visible slot machines. Strategy 9. This approach will net you the best returns you're likely to find here. However, the best machines are already well known and taken by locals during peak gaming times. So you have to kind of work around that. Alternatively, you can use my 5-spin method. It does work, even though returns are less than breaking even. Still, as for us during my visit, it will extend your playing time somewhat, and that's a great thing to have. So earlier in May, I successfully launched my online course, which you can now purchase and get immediate access to. and I'll share that with you. So this people who purchase this course allow me to be able to travel to go to these casinos and do these reviews. So this is the page, courses.professorslots.com, that you can go to. Let's see here. This is courses.professorslots.com. And if you click on my currently one course, you'll see the sign up page. And with it is what you'll learn, course curriculum, including when the first lesson is free, or the first video is free in the introduction. And also here are descriptions with tasks and resources for my 9 strategies that which I talked about, those that work and those that don't work at Ameristar is a Riverboat casino today in today's live stream, and also a little bit about me, payment options, credit card or PayPal, and what you get free with the course, including my book, a PDF version of my book, 2021 gambling records templates in all the formats that you might use, and also lifetime access. So this is a beta version at this time, which I am currently working to update. I will upload the revision pretty close to the end of June, looks to be my schedule. And when I do that, I'll let everybody know in advance, because that's when the price goes up $100. If you buy it now, you get access to the improved course later and save $100. So right now it's about 50% off. Okay, so I think we are back to live chat. So let's see what the questions have been. Oh my, I think I was here towards the end. We had some conversations about being with family. Paula, our moderator, is family, but I'm not. We are online together. She's 5 hours away, so I'm not visiting. She lives relatively close to my extended family, and so Make Nifty says the strategic slots player. Good, yeah, that's the people who pay for casinos are those that aren't strategic. Walk in, put a blindfold on, feel around until you find a slot machine and play it. You know, that's effectively what people do, and that's luck-based winning. But if you're strategic, you know, as I used to say a lot more, you walk into a casino, look around, and wonder what's going on. I can help. But a lot of people don't wonder, and those are the people that pay for casinos to make a profit. Bank Nifty says, do I have any live videos, any videos of live slots play? I do not. The reason that I do not is because that's far too late. How did you find that slot machine? That's what's important. And casinos won't let me walk around with a camera. You know, I have to blur all the faces, and you know, it's privacy. If you're going to do videos of play, you have to be on the video. You can't show people walking by or anything like that. And everything that I do is about how to find a winning slot machine. The game theme doesn't matter. It's which one, you know, you have a row of machines with the same game on it. Play the ones on the end. All right. It's just a misunderstanding that's out there. Now I am starting to do more site visits and video descriptions, but playing slots play is not what I offer. You could find many channels that do that. Many channels, and all of them are pretty small. Brian Christopher is less than 400,000 subscribers, and 400,000 subscribers is for a YouTube channel it's the biggest one for slots, watching somebody play slots. But really, if you want to know how to win at slot machines, and I'm just getting started, I was at 1,000 subscribers beginning of October last year. I just went over 19,000. You know, I'm growing like a bat out of whatever, and I'd like to crack 1 million. Crack 10 million. You know, if you want to win at slots, this is where you go. If you want to watch somebody else win at slots, well, that's available. Okay, so So questions. I've got another few minutes here. David. Hi, David. I'm a new sub here. Do you have any overall success rate percentage using your 5-spin method? I talk about 50% of the machines being good. 75 if you run the test and on 20 machines and you have 50% of them, I call that good. Giving you a taste in the first 5 spin. If you get 75%, that's great. And if you're 90% or over, that's excellent. And then the second evaluation would be, did I make money? And even if you didn't make money, it might be the only way to actually, it's the only way to, like Ameristar, win as much as possible. So when I was doing it, I was at a casino where the high limit room was giving me, hand payouts, and 3 in like 45 minutes, but like more than half an hour was spent filling out paperwork and waiting for the slot attendant to come back. So 3 hand pays in 15 minutes. So you can find this. So you have to evaluate it twice, whether or not the casino has it, and then is it winning you enough to satisfy your needs? Because some people just want to play longer, some people want to have the money, and some people want to earn points. You can cycle bankrolls. That's great for some people. Okay. I hope that's what you meant. Right now, it's 1 in 4. Also, the other statistic that I have for you is it appears to be about 1 in 4 casinos have this feature that they purchased. And so if you only have one casino, you got a 25% chance. Yep. Devin says we're up to 9 now. That is correct, but it's not 9 strategies at every casino. There's a chance that 1 or 2 of these will work at your casino, and you might have to check 9 of them. And some of them are pretty obvious. A lot of people like 5-spin method. I think maybe because it's easy or something. But I actually found a lot more success with strategy 7. But popularity is popularity. Okay. I'm getting down to overdone. Let's see. I think I'm just going to have to let the rest of these go. Apologies for. Thank you, Magpie, for saying that you like the name of the strategy and strategy 9, location. Danny says, I bought your book, starting to read tomorrow. Some knowledge, which are the most important chapters. The first chapter is just to try to ground you a little bit. The last chapter is last 2 chapters is kind of like, opening up to the future. So basically the in-between section heading towards the beginning, maybe starting with chapter 3, but you might find not many people find the history of where slots came from very interesting, but I like history. So do you? Anyway, looks like we're going to be done here. I want to wish everybody a wonderful holiday weekend, whether it be with family or not. Thank you so much if you're here live or you're watching it later. Best wishes on a wonderful holiday season, a holiday weekend. So you guys all have fun, be safe, make good choices. Bye.